What's up, guys? I'm going to be talking about how to be at peace with everything that happens, especially in that moment of solitude and uncertainty with the plans that God has for you. And I'm going through this right now, especially. This is why I want to talk about it. There's many times where I just got out of a breakup like 2 months ago. Um, been very hard to let somebody go that I uh, loved so much. And I'm not saying that I have to like stop loving, stop caring, but I have to let go. I need to move on with my life and move on with the path that God has for me. And you know, I would say there's a lot of things that I do need to fix about myself that I couldn't have fixed in a relationship because I needed to be closer with God and give him all my energy um that I wasn't giving him before, right? And so he delivered me from that pain, that guilt, uh that sadness that I was feeling. Because before I wasn't really fulfilled with my life, man. Felt like I was a shell almost. Like I wasn't living the life that I wanted to. I had no purpose or passion for almost anything. And he delivered me from that pain. I started to focus on myself more, focus on what I wanted in life. Not just in a partner, but like in life in general, and just I need to grow, man. And it's not easy. It's not easy letting go of something that you love so much or something that brought you kind of joy. But I needed to find that joy and peace within myself so that I can be the best person for them as well. And that's something I failed to do. But the thing is that even though I failed to do it, I still forgive myself because I did try very hard. And sometimes it just doesn't work out because God has something maybe planned for you, something you need to learn from. And that's something I'll always cherish. I'll never be bitter about. But on that note, I for the first month I was really depressed. I was really uncertain about what was even my life supposed to become. And God delivered me and said, all right, it's time to lock in. And so, like I just started getting really close to him because I had no like compass of where I even should go after that. You know what I mean? And I felt like the only way I'm gonna get through this is God, man, and it has to be. Like, there's no way. I've always tried to fix things myself, do things myself, and it always ended up getting me hurt even more. And so yeah, I've been trusting in Him last 2 months of my healing process, and I'd say that it's going pretty good, man. I just, I got back into going to church again, reading my Bible, doing things for myself, like treating myself. I'll go get coffee every once in a while, and just sit outside at like a Starbucks or something, or I'll go get some more books, go thrifting, things like that that I never would have done before for myself. You know what I mean? I feel like I always had to go with somebody or be with somebody to do have fun, and now that I'm learning how to have peace in that, and that's not the only thing. Like I've been learning how to journal. Journal helps me stop overthinking about things that have already happened. You know what I mean? There's a lot of things that God has planned for you, um, and sometimes to get to those things that God has planned for you, you have to let go of the past, and that's something I am trying to learn, something that I'm growing in for sure. I have these impulses of looking, and I still do, at past situations and looking back at it and just thinking about it, and that's because I did care about it, and it's not saying that I shouldn't care anymore, but I have to kind of move on and just start trusting in God's process. You know what I mean? Like I have to. There's no way because every time that I trusted my own process, I ended up getting hurt or I got confused and I just started doing random impulses, man, and it was just bad. Um, yeah, but talking to new people, making new connections with other people, but yeah, I would say the thing you have to remember about uncertainty is that we're not going to know what's going to happen. Only God does. And the only way that we can continue to follow that path is just by trusting in Him, trusting that days are going to go by where we're going to feel maybe hurt, sad still, heartbroken, and that's me almost every once in a while. Like yeah, like I'll get down, I'll cry, let it out, man, and I feel like we have to think of it as it's all part of God's plan. I'm hurt. and I need him to comfort me in this time of healing and, getting over the pain and learning how to become a better person within him, learning how to follow his word and just trusting in him that through the pain that he's going to deliver me from that, and there's going to be joy and peace that is going to be received, or I guess, refunded back to me in tenfold. And it's obviously not easy. There's so many times where I just want to go talk to that person that I lost, and just try to fix things, but I can't force anything, man. I gotta stop. Proverbs 3:5 says, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Do not lean on your own understanding." And that's something that I try to remind myself and read to myself every day. And there's a lot of times where I feel guilty about the things that I did, and I feel uncertain about how am I going to be able to change, or how am I going to be able to build off of it. And doing this right now, that's helping me a lot, and it's showing me that I can actually grow from an experience like that and grow from the pain. Psalms 34:19 says, "The righteous person may have many troubles, but the Lord delivers him from them all." So we're gonna have, especially for me, I had a lot of stuff going on. Like I just wasn't the best person, or I would just let my desires get to me, my worldly desires, and it would just ruin me. And through all that, it looking back at it now, it's like, well, I mean, I'm starting to conquer them with God, man. I couldn't have done it without him, and it makes me really happy to know that how much I've grown as a person and how much my faith has been restored to this point. Because I felt like I was so far gone from him when I started to come back. I was like, man, how did I let myself go this bad? And then it wasn't like he was mad, but he was just, like he knew this is gonna happen. But it only grew my faith even more, knowing that I've done all these things, and now I'm starting to get back into that relationship with him. And especially when I'm sad, especially when I'm heartbroken, and I feel like I ruined a lot of stuff. Psalms 34:17-18 says, "The righteous cry out, and the Lord hears them. He delivers them from all their troubles. The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit." There was many times where I felt like, you know, I didn't even know what to do. Like I was just so heartbroken. I was so lost in that pain that I just felt like there was no way out. But that's when God sees me the most vulnerable, and sees me the most at the lowest point, and he loved me for who I was, even though I was going through this, even though I had troubles in my heart, stuff that I was doing that I shouldn't have been doing. And I still go through things of uncertainty, paths of uncertainty, where I'm thinking, when is it gonna get better? When am I gonna get over this? And it all takes time, man, and it all takes persistence, a lot of persistence in knowing that God is gonna get you to where you need to be on His terms and His terms only. And I trust in that, because there really are times where I feel great, and I feel like I'm really becoming somebody that I really love. I'm starting to love myself more, just for the person I am, and I'm really confident in myself that I can get to where I need to be with God. I'm becoming the man that I always wanted to be. Um, I'm starting to be happy again, man. Like God has changed my life so much these past couple months that I felt like I was down in the dumps, and now I'm just like ever so much closer to who I want to be. And you know, Jeremiah 29:11 says, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." And so when I read that, it gives me reassurance that God knows what I'm going through. God knows that I am delivered from this broken-hearted, imperfect man of myself. And when I gave him that those problems, or that just heartbreak that I was going through, he like carried me and just said, it's gonna be all right. I'm gonna get you to where you need to be. I'm gonna rehabilitate you from the pain and the guilt that you have suffered. And he renewed me, man. And I wouldn't say I'm like 100% yet, and I wouldn't say, no one's perfect. Obviously, I'm imperfect, and you have to take accountability for that and acknowledge that you are imperfect. You will never be perfect. You're gonna, you know, make mistakes, but it's all about just giving it to God, man. And that's what I've been doing, and it's been helping a lot. Just knowing that no matter what, as long as I'm with God, everything's gonna work out. You know, everything's gonna be okay. And I'm pretty content with my life right now. Just making new habits for myself and doing it for God. Not just doing it for me, but for doing it for God, man, because He saved me from everything that was going on in my head. And yeah, I mean, really, God can only save you from that uncertainty that you deal with. Sometimes we think a lot about what's next for me, what is going to come of all of this, and we don't know. Again, we don't know. But keep building that relationship with God. Keep fighting for the good fight, no matter how hard it gets. He's only testing your strength and wisdom and your persistence. So keep fighting, keep going, because God's gonna bless you in many ways that you might not even expect, and it's gonna be great. And the Lord, He knows everything that's going on with us. He knows how we feel. He knows what our thoughts are, and we just have to give it to Him and make ourselves vulnerable enough to build that relationship with Him, man. He wants a relationship with you. You just have to give it to Him and live for Him, and just keep going. Just keep going, keep moving, no matter how hard it gets, because it gets freaking hard, dude. Um, there's times where I question my faith, like, is it ever gonna get better? Is it ever gonna go away? When am I gonna feel strong enough to feel like I'm not that version of myself anymore? And it's only through that time that God has with you that you build. And I can feel myself building every single day with the Lord, man. I feel way more confident in myself that I'm gonna be someone that I can love, and I think I am someone that I love now. Um, and I have to forgive myself for everything that has happened in the past, because if I don't, then how am I gonna have peace with what's to come? How am I gonna find peace in with what's God has in store for me if I don't make peace with the past? So keep faith, keep grinding, and the Lord will get you to where you need to be. But that's it for me. I'm done talking. I hope you guys have a great day whenever you guys are watching this. And stay blessed, King or Queens. Yeah, whatever. Stay blessed.